Hello friends, today I will explain you how we can define variables in SPSS. For that you need to open a fresh file like this. You can see I have opened a file here. Now in this file you can see in this window you can see at the lower left corner you can see there are two views of SPSS, data view and variable view. So to define variable you need to go into the variable view and click here on the variable view button. When you will click on variable view button, this particular window will open for you to define variables. So now there are different columns available here on which you have to define your variable. These are the characteristics of your variable. On that parameters you will define your variable. So suppose firstly I am defining my first variable, that is gender. So gender is my first variable. When I will switch from first cell to next cell, that is the type cell. So you can see remaining most of the columns were filled by the SPSS. These are the default setting. So for gender, you can see the type is numeric. Means now the variable gender, whatever I will define in gender, that will be numeric. That means I need to enter some numbers here. It cannot be text. If I want to select, if I want to enter text like gender is male or female, so what I need to do, I have to click here on this particular box, these three dots. So just click on that. One dialog box will appear here. Now you need to select the appropriate type of the variable for you. So I'm okay with numeric. So that is why I'm not making any changes in that and I'm just clicking on OK. Then width, that is the next column. In this we are defining how much character we can enter into the particular column at a time. Decimal points, if your variable is some kind of number, some kind of continuous number, so in that case this decimal will be okay. Otherwise you can make it 0 by using these arrows. When you will click here you can able to see these two drop down and up down arrows. So you just need to do make it for making it 0, you just need to click on the drop down arrow and that will become your 0. Label, next column is label. Here you need to label your variable. So label I am writing here, that is the gender, same as the name. It is totally up to you. Whatever way you want to describe, you can describe your variable here. It will take so many characters, but in the name column, whenever you are naming your gender, so you cannot give a space here between two words. But here in label, you are free to describe your variable in the way you want. Next one is the values column. So as I am dealing with numeric type of gender, my variable is numeric type. So I can define the values here, that what that numbers are telling to me. So here to define that, you just again need to click here. Three dots will appear here. You need to click on that. The one more dialog box will appear here. Now here I am writing, suppose gender as value I am entering 1. So what would be meaning of 1 is, suppose 1 is male. So you just need to click on this add and this will be added. Second category is suppose 2 and this is labeling, I am labeling it as female and again click on add. And suppose only two categories are there in the gender variable. So one is male, two is female, and then click on OK. So as you will click on OK, that will define these categories of gender will be defined here by this particular column. Further, next column is the missing value column. Here, this is the user defined missing values. User defined missing values meaning is, that means if we want to keep any of the categories of a variable aloof, we don't want to include that particular category in the analysis part, so that particular category I can define here. For example, when I click here, you can see the one dialog box will appear here and it is showing us three options. First one by default by SPSS is no missing values. Second one is the discrete missing values. So suppose I want to define some values here, so I need to click on this. So as we are dealing with gender, so for example, I don't want to take male category in my study. So I have defined here 1. So this is whenever I'm going for any kind of a statistical tool, the male category will not be included here. The next one is the range. Range is range plus one optional discrete missing values. So here you need to define the lower limit and the upper limit. But as we are dealing with the gender, here only two values we have defined. So this is not the appropriate selection here. So this way we can define this missing values. So I'm not defining anything because I'm not using any kind of statistical tool here for male or female category. Further, that is the column. This particular characteristics of the variable is indicating you the length of your variables column. When that will you can see with the help of data view. I'm showing you here. So as you can see, by default the column is 8 if I'm stretching it like this. So you can see its impact there in the value of the column. It is 12 now. Again, I'm coming to the data view. If I'm stretching out like this, so you can see the column length is now 8. So this way, this is just only for the beautification purpose. Next one is the alignment. So there are three types of alignment like word, that is right, left and center. By default it is right. If you want to make any changes here, you can select according to your choice. Next one is the measure. In this we can define the type how we have measured our variable. So one can measure variable in the 4 types of scales, that is nominal, ordinal, interval or ratio scale. In SPSS only 3 types of measurements are available: nominal, ordinal and scale. This scale is the combination of interval scale and the ratio scale. So as gender is the nominal scale variable, because we have only 2 categories here, this is the categorical variable. So that is why I have kept here measurement as nominal. So this way we can define variable in SPSS. And I hope friends this video will help you to understand how we can define variables in SPSS. With this, thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel if you find these videos are useful for you. Thank you so much.